Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rekakadash. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shah being the name of His only begotten Son, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ. This is edification for the elect, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, descendants of slaves, who goes back to the nation of Israel. Now, when you're talking about World War III, it goes back to prophecies, and it goes back to the promises that the Most High gave. Now, in Genesis 25, you clearly see what was the theme and the main idea of the Bible. And so this is what's lost in the illiterate American culture. See, these Americans are very illiterate. They don't know the fundamentals of reading. The fundamentals of reading is the beginning. The first sentence or the beginning of a writing or a compilation of writing or a story is the main idea, is the theme. And this is the theme because, first of all, you have a nation that the Most High is dealing with. And the beginning of that nation is Jacob, or whose name was changed to Israel. Now, when you go back into the main idea, most of the time the main idea is I'm gonna say established with characters. Characters usually is a main part of the main idea. And so the characters in the Bible gives you the main idea because it's telling you about these characters. Now in Genesis 25 and 23, it introduced you to these characters. It says, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and one people shall be stronger than the other people. And the elder shall serve the younger. Okay, and so it's talking about 2 nations. Now when you jump up to verse 22, it say, and the children struggled together within her. So these 2 nations were struggling in the womb, in the beginning. See, these 2 nations were struggling in the beginning. Now let's get the precepts. You see that Esau came out red, and Jacob came out after him. And that's going into prophecy because Esau came out first. He's the elder. And it's saying the elder shall serve the younger. So Jacob is the younger. Jacob is Israel, the nation of Israel. And God chose Israel to be his people. He dealt with Israel. He didn't deal with Esau. Even though he gave Esau a blessing, he didn't deal with Esau and set up a priesthood with Esau. He dealt with Jacob and set up a priesthood with Jacob and used Jacob as his high priest and used Jacob as his messenger, as his voice. All right. So when you go to make it to Exodus 17, because not only was they struggling in the womb, the Lord, Yahweh, gave a promise. Exodus 17, verse 8, it says, then Amalek, now Amalek is the grandson of Esau, so these are Edomites. It says, then Amalek and Then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim. Okay, then you jump over to Exodus 17 and 16. Now let me get that real quick. Let me get it on the screen because I want these verses to be seen. Exodus 17, 16. Okay. Now Moses built an altar and called the name of it Yahweh Nisi. Okay, let's highlight this. He said, for he said, because the Lord has sworn, see, he made a promise that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. See, the Lord promised to be fighting with these Edomites from generation to generation. And that generation to generation means forever. They was going to fight until that prophecy is fulfilled where the elder is serving the younger, until he's serving Jacob. Okay, now let's get Numbers. Numbers 24. We're going to run through these precepts. I got a lot of them. 17. All right. It says, I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not near. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel. Okay. Then at verse 18, it says, and Edom shall be a possession. See, the elder shall serve the younger. There go the prophecy again. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. So, there go the prophecy again. Verse 20, it says, and when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said Amalek was the first of the nation. See, and when they say the first of the nation, that's going back to the two nations in thy womb. But his latter end shall be that he perish forever. So he's the first out of those two nations to rule. But he's not going to be surviving the situation. Now, 1 Samuel 15. Because, see, the Lord swore and made a promise that this is going to happen. 15 and 3. He said, he telling King Saul, the Benjamite, now go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass. See, he wanted him to go destroy these Amaleks, these Edomites, pretty much. You see, the devil got thousands of news articles coming through at one time. Okay, now you got, we're going to run through these. That's one battle that he destroyed everything. Now Saul left the king Agag, the king of these Edomites. He left him alive and took some of the cattle. And the Lord punished him and gave the kingdom to David. So when you get to Samuel chapter 30, this is what David had to deal with. And it came to pass when David and his men were come to Ziklag in the third day that the Amalekites had invaded the south, Ziklag, and smitten Ziklag, and burnt it with fire. So the Edomites came and burnt the city that David had established with fire. Verse 2, and he had taken the women captive that were therein. They slew not any, either great or small, but carried them away and went on their way. So pretty much they enslaved David's two wives, burnt down the city, took his son and daughter, and the other peoples that was with him. So there was another war that was going on, and King David revenged them and killed all the Edomites and returned his family and rescued everybody. Now let's go First Kings, cause see, we getting all these articles showing how the Lord warred with these Edomites. 1 Kings 11:4 says, it came to pass that Solomon was old, that his wives turned. Salakia. We might have got the wrong verse. 1 Kings 11:14. Salakia. And the Lord stirred up an adversary, Satan, unto Solomon. Hadad the Edomite. See, that who is Satan. He was of the king's seed in Edom. Okay? It said in verse 15, for it came to pass when David was in Edom, Joab, the captain of the army, was gone up to bury the slain after he had smitten every male in Edom. So they was warring with the Edomites. There go another one. Let's get First Chronicles. See, this is going on now. The Lord said he gonna war with these people forever, and he gonna enslave them at the end. Now let's go 18 and 12. It say, moreover, Ashbishai, the son of Zeriah, slew of the Edomites in the valley of Salt 18,000. Verse 13, and he put garrisons in Edom, and all the Edomites became Salakia. And all the Edomites became David's servants. Thus the Lord served David whatsoever he went. So now they slew the Edomites, and then they put a garrison in their land, and they made them servants for a small period of time, but it wasn't over. The war is not over with that, and that's not the only servitude. See, that's just a small little situation that popped off. Because in Genesis 27:40, it said that Esau was going to break the yoke off of his neck that David and Israel had, and he was going to get a rulership over the Israelites. So that wasn't the fulfillment of the prophecy about the Edomites being enslaved. See, he just made them servants to the army. They had to fight for him, and that was the end of that. Because let's get 2 Chronicles chapter 21. Hold on. 2 Chronicles 20. Let's try 20. Let's see, 22. Okay, yeah, that was the end of that. 2 Chronicles chapter 20. The Edomites fighting against Judah. It says Mount Seir. See, that's what the Edomites were with, come against Judah, and they were smitten. So this is the area where the Edomites came and fought against the children of Israel. Again, it was a war going on. He said, and Judah came together to the watchtower in the wilderness and looked up to the multitude, and behold, they were dead bodies fallen to the earth, and none escaped. See? 25, and when Jehoshaphat and his his people, same thing, came to take away the spoil of them, they found among them in abundance both riches with the dead bodies, precious jewels, which they stripped off of it for themselves, more than they could carry away. See, pretty much the Lord had the Edomites fight the Japanese and the Chinese, and they all pretty much killed each other. And then the Israelites went down and took all the money. That's a prelude to World War III. That's why he said he's going to go into the valley of Jehoshaphat, because this happened around when the Jehoshaphat was king. Now let's get 21. 8? In his days the Edomites revolted from under the dominion of Judah and made themselves a king. So now the Edomites fought against the Israelites and took the yoke off of their neck. Okay, then we get 28. The Edomites, verse 17. Let's see what this say. For again the Edomites had come and smitten Judah and carried away captives. So now the whole role reversed. The Edomites was back on top. So now this is when the prophecy is gonna kick in and the war gonna have to pop off, because the wars keep going. Psalms 2. Let's get Psalms 2. It say, the kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast their cords from us. Now this is when the Edomites is operating, because they are in the rulership seat. This is the prophecy about them being in the rulership seat, and they're gonna get these other nations to help them pretty much try to destroy the Israelites. And this is the prophecy in 83, Psalms 83. Read 5 and 6. It says, they have consulted together, all these nations have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, meaning against the nation of Israel, to cut them off from being a nation, so nobody even know their name. Verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom. See? Look at verse 7. And Amalek. See, these Edomites was going to be battling with the Lord like he swore for a long time. Let's get Isaiah. See, way after King David, he's letting you know this situation ain't over. This warring is not over. Verse 5, it say, my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. See, the war is not over. Isaiah was way after King David had them as servants. And he's promising you it's another war going to be with Edom. Now, Isaiah 63, it say, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? See, this is the Lord Yahweh. He coming from Edom with red garments sprinkled with blood. See, verse 3 lets you see it. Their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garment. He talking about the Edomites. See? Okay, let's jump over to Jeremiah. We're going to get straight to the point. Get the precept. Jeremiah 49. Let's see, verse 14. He said, he who is this coming from Edom? 14 say, I have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her, and rise up to the battle. Come against who? See verse 7. Concerning Edom. Okay. Then we're going to jump over to verse 22. It says, and behold, he shall come up and fly as in the eagle and spread his wings over Bozrah. Who did that? What Isaiah 63 just said? And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pains. See, he just said that in Isaiah 63. That who is this coming from Edom? The Yahweh is going to come over Edom. And this one say he going to be like a bird just hovering over Edom. And Bozrah is America, the capital city of these Edomites. Now, we got another one. Let me jump to Revelation to add on to that one. Add on to that one. Revelation, the 1st chapter, verse 7. He said, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they that which pierced him. So the Edomites pierced them when they was calling themselves Roman. And so, same thing with Revelation 12. It say the red dragon, which the Romans called themselves the dragon, was waiting on the male child to come out of the woman, the nation of Israel. And we know Herod was waiting on Yahushua and killing up the children to try to hope that he could kill Yahushua. Okay, we'll be at 20. So let's get back to this war that's going on. Now Lamentations 4:18 and 19 let you know that these Edomites gonna have us in captivity, warring with us, hunting us down in the street, persecuting us, and it names them. Let me just let the screen see this one. Okay, 18, they hunt our steps. 19, our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven. Esau is always known to be like an eagle, an immoral animal. Then verse 21, O daughter of Edom. See, these Edomites is warring with the nation of Israel, man. It's still holding the theme and holding the main idea of the story. Okay. Let's see here. Then let's go ahead and get to Ezekiel, the grand finale. 25 and 14. It's saying, I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord God, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah. So these Edomites is going to know the vengeance of the Most High, because it's all about them. Now we talking about Edom is going to fight the Most High, and the Lord going to use the Israelites to do it. Now when you jump over to 35, you got Mount Seir, the Edomites. And to let you know it's the Edomites, when you jump down to the bottom, it says Mount Seir and all Idumea. So the context of this thing and the main idea of this situation is prophesying against the Edomites. You see, because verse 5 it says, because they have had a perpetual hatred and shed the blood of the children of Israel. Okay, so when you go to 36, it ain't changed. It's the same operation. You go to 36, verse 5, it says, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession. So who took over the Holy Land? Edomites in their rulership. They done conquered the whole world. They in everybody's country. See, this is their rulership. Genesis 27:40. Okay. Then, so this is 36. So when you go to 37, this is when the house of David is going to be rebuilt with the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. So when you jump over to 38, who would Gog and Magog be? It's obvious. The Gog and Magog would be the Edomites, man. And the heathen. See, he's going to add the Persians with him. With verse 6. It's verse 5. He's going to add the Persians with him, the Ethiopians, the Libyans, all these Arabs and African Hamites. He's going to add with them, and they're going to fight with these Edomites. That's why he said he's going to gather the nation. When he gathered all these other nations and heathen, this is who he gathered. He's going to gather the Edomites with all of the other heathen. And so This is not about no other crap that they talking about. It's clear. The book is going in the order. He's writing in the order of what's going to happen. He's not going to tell you about some whole other situation that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. It's all about the Edomites and the Israelites, man, going to war with each other. Now, when you go to Amos gives you the same order, 9 and 11. Just like in Ezekiel 37, it tells you that the house of David that's fallen is going to be rebuilt. That means they're going to come together and be rebuilt. Then verse 12 is like chapter 38. It say, that they may possess the remnant of Edom and all the heathen. That's the Gog and Magog and the coalition of armies that's going to come against the Israelites to war with them. This is what Joel is talking about. See, Joel chapter 3 verse 2, he said, I will gather the nation, bring them to the valley of Jehoshaphat, like you did in 2 Chronicles, the 20th chapter. See, to war against Israel. He did this before. This is not the first time. Then it says that the people that sold the Israelites, the Grecians, who are the Edomites, going to Amos, the first chapter, you got them and the heathens that helped put the Israelites into captivity. Verse 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all men of war draw near, let them come up. See, he talking about these individuals that help put the children of Israel in captivity, in slavery. What is the main idea of the sentence of the chapter? For behold, in those days, and in that time when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. See, when he say bring again, he meaning turn back, reverse it. He's going to reverse it. That's why in verse 7, he says, and I will raise them out of the place where you have sold them, and return your recompense upon your own head. See, that's what he's talking about. But when you're talking about war, the war is about the slavery, the captivity. He's going to take them out of captivity and go to war with all the other nations, and mainly the Edomites, because he promised and he swore to war with Amalek, who are the Edomites, forever. Okay? And that's when you get the revelation. Nothing changed. He's just giving you prophecies. That's all he's telling you. He's not talking about no angels falling from no sky. He said, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. The Israelites and the angels are going to fight against the dragon. That's what the situation is about, man. It ain't about no freaking angel come down from the sky. Because he tells you in 19, let's get straight to the point. 19:19, he said, and the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. So that's Yahushua coming, just like in 63 and in 34. He was coming to the Edomites and their armies. Let's go back to 34 real quick. Isaiah 34, because it's a point I want to bring out. Isaiah 34. Okay, he says in verse 2, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, mainly the Edomites, and his fury upon all their armies. See? And then in verse 5, he let you know, for my sword will be bathed in heaven, behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. See, the Edomites. You go to any other translation, it's going to have Edom. Idumea is just a Greek word for Edom, which means red. That's why the dragon in Revelation was read. He's coming. Look, verse 6. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of ram. For the Lord has a sacrifice in Basra, talking about America, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea, in any place where these Edomites is living. See, the devil eavesdropping on my lesson. Now, that's what World War III is about, man. It's not about this coalitions of nations coming against some church and church people. Nobody is caring about no church people. Church people is not a threat to nothing. It's not prophesied that the church people don't receive the kingdom. Let's get 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. See, that's why they took Ezra's out of the Bible, because they know the prophecy. Let's highlight this. Say, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. See, these other nations know that Jacob is the threat. That's why they have the UN, and no Jacob or Israelites is on the UN. They got the UN, and the UN conversation is about how we going to get rid of these Israelites, the children of Jacob, before they take over the world. Because we know the prophecy. And the kings of the earth always knew the prophecies. That's why Herod was trying to kill Yahushua, because he knew the prophecy. He was waiting on Yahushua to hit the scene. He had the men looking for him. And so the same thing now. The UN and these coalition of nations that's joining Esau, they are gearing up to fight and to stop the takeover of Jacob. And so that's what World War III is about. It's not about no freaking just the armies fighting each other. No, it's the war. It's furthering the war of Jacob and Esau, which is the theme of the Bible and the main idea of the Bible. But I'm gonna leave it there. All praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah, B'Shem Rekakadash. Double honor to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.